Okay, welcome again to Cloud Training for Enthusiasts. My name is Osatwame Patrick Aigbogun, and interestingly, we have been having fun and learning about platform as a service using WordPress as our sample. Then we also venture into Dockerization, and at the same time, we're also learning containerization. So these three processes are going simultaneously. And last time we gave our students, should I say colleague now, a very interesting assignment, and all of us did it. And at least more of the students did it, and it was so interesting. So we just want to make everybody know what we did. This time is known. So as from our classes, we gave an assignment for them to install a LAMP application with WordPress administration, and they did successfully. So we just want to explain to them, explain to all of us, and explain to everybody what is the essence. Why are we calling the WordPress? Why are we calling it as a platform as a service? Okay, now I'm going to go straight to my browser where I will share the reason why it's called platform as a service. You can see we are using the public IP address of the application of the server, which is resting in AWS, and we are logging in through a WP admin. Let's say, okay, this is the public IP address, and this public IP address, by the time you say /WP admin.
I'm sorry, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, Patrick.
Yes.
I'm
not sharing.
I can't.
He's not sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. Seriously, I thought I'm already sharing. Okay. Beautiful. So this is the WordPress, and this WordPress is sitting in AWS, and then all of us did it. Most of the students, almost 90-80% of us did it, and so made an attempt. So we're still trying to get it right, and I know all of us will do it because it's a form of a model. So this application, this is a WordPress, which is a PHP application with MariaDB, and everything has been done successfully. So in a companies like GoDaddy, Host, and other web hosting company, what they do, they go to any, they buy a domain name, and they wrap the domain name with this public IP address or the DNS name of the server or the load balancer of the server. Most times, is the DNS name of the server. They wrap it with this name, with this public IP address. They can call it, depending on which name you put while you are buying the application. Sometimes you are even supposed to buy your DNS name and give it to them to install this WordPress into it. So we are going to assume that this is our public IP address, this is our DNS name, but you always have /WP admin. Sometimes they will install what we call a cPanel, which is another higher level of an application or service. And they will give you the cPanel admin. So you're going to have a public IP address, which is going to be wrapped with a DNS name. Let's say julius.com. I want to have WP admin. Understand? For example, now I have my own website. I think I have this website was done. I use GoDaddy. We're trying to upgrade. So gemoworld.com /WP admin. You see, you want to go to that WP. Sorry, it's not .com.ng. So
Patrick, WP admin, W space W dash admin, WP dash admin.
WP admin. You're supposed to log into that for my stuff. gemoworld.com.ng. Hope it's spelled well. gemoworld.com.ng /WP-admin. Or let me first see the site. It's up first. This is the site. Okay, the site is not up. I don't know why. gemoworld.com.ng. The site is supposed to be up. As My subscription expired. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Wow. The site is down. Oh, okay, they may be doing maintenance. I know this site was up for some time now. This site, maybe they are doing maintenance. I want to just use it as a sample. So my site, gemover.com.ng is the site. Okay, the site is down. I think they are doing maintenance on it. I'll go and know why it's down. So normally this site, if this site, I think they are doing maintenance on their servers. You are supposed to just put /wp-admin. So this is a domain name that I bought. I was one that bought this domain name. I gave it to them. They installed the server at the back. And if you say WP-admin, so let's go back to the site. It's not like you go to every site and start putting WP-admin. Sometimes it's not advisable. So there's a, can you remember the username and the password you created?
No, I can't remember. I'm still trying to find it. But I think I stuck to what was in the documents. So I can't remember. I'm trying to find the link to that document so that maybe it can give me an idea.
But when you were creating it, there was.
Okay, is the username admin?
Yes, the username.
Is it always admin?
No, it's not that. I think the username is admin. Which password did you give? Because you are supposed to create a username and a password the first time, that first drop off.
I can't remember. So, I'm looking for the link to the document. So.
Okay. What is your username? What is your email did you use? Which email did you use? Which email did you use?
It should be Kemi Adebena. I don't know. But how can I get that link? The link we followed to the document. Maybe you can just give me an idea of what that is.
So, if this email is correct, they will send you another one. But if this email is not correct, what you're saying that's the email is not correct. The username is the email is not correct. Which email did you use?
I don't know.
So if you just did a site for somebody now and they're asking for the email, you don't know.
I don't know. I can't even remember putting any email at any point in time.
You were supposed to put email when you were creating. Oh God. Today class was very interesting.
I can't even remember.
It's a terrible error. It's a very big error.
Do you have a link to the document? You know, I was just following step by step what was there.
The only thing you can do is to restart it. Go to your server and start the application. When you restart the application, if you use SSH enter, you restart it, then it will not give you the environment again. Or you create another user, then connect it. But this is a terrible error. And your email address is not going. Password, let me call the password. Oh, no email address, check. So sorry. Huh? Can you make an attempt?
Attempt at which one?
Username. Just give me a username.
I need that document, that link to that document I will follow. You could give me an idea. Because most of the time I think I just stuck with the example that they gave. If you understand.
No,
I was trying to
that
Google.
was inside the server. That was inside the server. With the first time that you use this URL to when you share
Yes.
this URL, it say welcome to
Yes.
WordPress. You
Yes.
configured it. That one is
Really?
not inside. Yes, you
I didn't
configured it.
configure. That one was /blog now. That was /blog, and I'm not sure I configured anything.
Configured it, Joe. Otherwise, you configured it.
Because at that time it was /blog. That was the last. That was the last. That was the last instruction, and I didn't log in afterwards.
It has been configured. You can see it has been configured. Toby, welcome.
Okay. And maybe someone else logged in. What can we do now? Because I didn't even log into the WordPress.
Ah. Oh, anybody? Anybody? Huh? Toby? Ha. Oh God, I wanted us to just log into any website now. Toby, are you there? Hello, Toby. Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
No problem, no problem.
Okay,
You're
Patrick,
welcome.
good evening.
You're welcome, sir. Please, did you shut down your instance?
I'm not even home. I'm connecting through the phone. I'm not with my computer.
Can you send us the public IP address? Did you shut it down?
I shut everything down. Now, Bill, now. I shut everything down now.
Oh. Okay, no wahala. I wanted us to just. Oh God. Oh. Okay, no wahala. Okay, my site is back. So you can see WP config PHP. You notice that it's not different from what you have. Our site, the site is down. I mean, my own official site is down. The reason why it's down, they are still working on it. I think it will be up soon. But it's telling me that I cannot log into my WP admin. So let me try and use cPanel. Okay, you can see. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? You notice now, is it different from what you have in your server? This one.
It's the same.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
You can see this and this. Does it look any different? Huh? This is having
It's
what?
the same thing.
And this. So this same server, this is what you guys just did, is the same thing that Ogo also or other major company also do. Understand me? This is gemoworld.com.ng. This is my admin. Just that the name, this DNS name was swapped with your public IP address or your DNS name. So that is just what I want you to establish. Me, I think my username, I can still remember my username. My username is, let me see if I can still log in. If I can still remember my username. Okay, see, if we're able to log in into this server, the same thing that you see here is what you are going to see. So you see this website that I have, and Gemo World, I was one that designed it from the scratch. So what did they give to me when I subscribed? What they gave to me was just, I designed this. I did this, but this was very long, it was very old, and I've not really had time to come back here, work on it. Yes. This is very what I about the company. You understand me? But if you can see the same, you can see all my job. This is the back end. The code is the back end, and this is where I'm working. This is where my teams are. You can see Gemo World Global Resources Limited. If I say view sites, it take me to that site. If I want to edit, the advantage of this WordPress is that I can decide to choose any template, any appearance, any user. It's just for me to plug. You can see all the pages. It's fun. So I would recommend, even after, you can go and install it again. Maybe just use 1 week and play with it. My contact page, you can see my contact page here. This is my contact page. Is the same thing with what you will see here. You see this contact page. You see contact us. This contact us. It's what I'm opening here. You understand me? It's what I'm opening here. So everything you see in my website that is displaying in my website, they are all here. Gemo World Services. If you go to Gemo World Services, I say view Gemo World Services. I think the Google hosts, they are having issues currently. So you can also go ahead and start having your own company and learn how these WordPress services work. It's free. WordPress is free. You understand me? It's an open source. But the company that install your server is, you know, the process you pass through before installing this server. I think in our next class, let's talk about the DNS, how to convert your public IP address to anything to DNS. I will show you that. So you can see this is my website. This is my WordPress. So this is the front end. This is what everybody will see. You understand me? This is what everybody will see. So anybody that have access to this my WordPress account, my username and password, can come here and manipulate my site. But I can secure it because I'm supposed to secure my username and password. So anywhere in the world, I can work on my website. But it's different from the regular website that we know that is built with code. But this is a WordPress site. So everything you see here, I've already linked my LinkedIn. If you click that LinkedIn, it's supposed to go. Or if I click my Instagram, I've already linked it to my Instagram account. It's just like a content delivery. This is what we call content delivery. So you can see it came to my Instagram account. This is our Instagram account. So if you want to know about us, it's just a page, a static site. This is a regular static site. So it displays most of my job, the stuff. So most of the sites you see, they are actually designed using WordPress. So the thing is that a developer will subscribe to a company will install a WordPress. Those VPC, those security group that you did at the back, I'm not interested. What I'm interested in is, is my site ready? Is my WordPress ready? It will say yes. Immediately they give me this WordPress like this, I come here and start designing my application. So I am not interested in how many instances is running, how many network is running, whatever thing that is going on the back, I'm not interested. You understand? What I'm interested in is give me the public IP address or the DNS name and the WordPress application username and password, and I start working. So after I finish designing, I show it to everybody. I can view it here. I'm testing it here. You understand me? I'm testing it. If it's okay, if it's not okay, I go back, I tweak it again the way I want it. I can go to, let's say, Elementor. What am I using? Appearance. Go to my appearance. The advantage of this, you can see theme. You see all these are the template I use, different website template I use. I can decide to choose any one. Okay, I like this one. I click this one. Then I'll say customize. Immediately activate it. The what I'm currently using, it will override what I'm currently using. It will now move to this site. You understand me? It will now, it's like a normal team now, normal team. So I can decide to start working on this part, any part I like. This is what I want. In fact, this is the current team I'm using. So I can decide to change anything. For example, now I want to change this picture. What I will do, I'll come here. This is the header. You can see the header, the title header. These are the headers. You see, all these ones are headers. So I can decide to come here. The footer is what is under. I can decide to design it anything I want. And this is what I think this is what I'm currently using. This is what I'm currently using. I can decide to change anything I want. For example, now let me change. This is the background image. You can see the background image. You can select anyone. There's no background image. You can select this picture. I uploaded this picture myself inside. So for example, I choose this one. I choose this background image. It will start appearing somewhere. It's telling me, do I want to publish? Do I want to customize? How do I want it? This is background image. Well, I don't want background image now. Let's change it. So I can decide to add picture, remove picture, do anything I want. I think let me do something so that you know that I can validate that I'm the one that did it, so that you look as if I'm using somebody's site too. Especially for those people that want to view it online. This is background. Let me just go to home page. Latest post. So let me just find something. Header settings. Title. You can see the title. The title is bearing German word. I can change the title here. Welcome to our site. So immediately you go to the internet, you're going to see German word. I can decide to move this German word global resource limit and just say German word. If I pull it German word and I published it, what will happen is that whenever you want to look at my site, it will not tell you German word. Say what now? German. The name that is going to display is going to be German word name, not the complete name that is displaying before. So if you search the website name, it's supposed to show German word, not the complete name. Let me do something different that will make it obvious. We have to be very careful because I'm still using this site. So welcome to our page. Okay, let me go to this site. Let me walk. Okay, I've not even published it. Social media icon. Let me look for something. So Just trying to do something. Custom copyright. Okay, see. See. Publish. When I publish it, it reflects. You can see this CGMO was what I just did now. If I change it, it may take some time to publish. Immediately you finish publishing, this CGMO you see here will be changed to CGMO word. You can see this line that you see here, change. You go to the site. When you finish publishing, I reset. So I can come here. Don't worry, by the time you finish updating, you see this CGMO word written here. So most times, most developers, you can be very good in designing a WordPress that even with this, just this WordPress alone, it's taking time to publish. By the time you finish publishing, this WordPress alone, you can use it to be making money, designing some simple website like e-commerce site. You can also use it to design major sites. Just that the themes that you are going to be using, you'll be buying it. I think it's still publishing. You buy the theme. So you see, most some websites you see is the same WordPress that you have just installed. So you can go this same website. You can just go and start playing with the site and start making small money for yourself. You can make 50,000. I think when I was designing for some people, I did some design for some people. I did some website design. I don't want to share it because it's a commercial site. They paid for it. I won't share it since we are recording it. So most other thing do I need to do? I think, let me go back. Plugins. What I mean by API, there are so many plugins, so many API that you don't need to design. All these ones are different applications, or you can just come here and pick any plugins that you like and use it. We say there's a new version of this, update my versions. Even the SSL certificate, I can update it. Update. So instead of me to be designing, you can see WordPress encryption, one-click SSL certificate, and force HTTPS. It's out of date. So I can just come here and update. I don't need to log into the server. Just update now. You say your secure WordPress is just activating this plugin will help you. Please run SSL install on the website. So give you what to do. So this is just a basic website where WordPress. Time will not permit me to share more and tell you how this thing was done. I think this site alone, this domain name is more than 6 years old. More than 6 years old, and I'm not using it for major things. Our plan is actually, this is some of my work. This is our old work. My plan is actually to get a proper site. But before the site comes up, something must be out there so people to know that this company is legitimate, and this is like an official site. So this is it. This is what I can share for now about WordPress. So don't think that your assignment is likely. You can make money from it. I can send a course for you that you can follow through and learn how to design websites from the scratch using a WordPress application. It's just a simple plug and play. Fine, I took these pictures. I did some graphics. These are my pictures. I took them. So my colors, I just try to use the colors of GMO. I think we spend more time here. So any question? Any question? Any question?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I know some of us are not new to see WordPress application. I think some of us have seen before. Shay? Jay? Dolapo, you've
Yes,
seen WordPress
Patrick.
before now.
Yes, Patrick.
Yvonne, you've seen WordPress application before now, see? And Toby.
Yes.
So these are normal WordPress application. But how it's being done, we don't know. But now we know now. We've even done it. So you can just decide to play around. So the next thing we are going to do is, let's go to our today's class, which is the Dockerization. So yesterday, we talked about the complete Dockerization. And before that, yesterday, we talked about microservices, how microservices will be done. Like the WordPress we did, you can notice that all the design is in one place. And the database we did is just one database, which is MariaDB. You understand me? All the design in the WordPress are in one application, which is zipped together. But in the microservices, all the services you see here, for example, I can decide to put contact us. You see this contact us page. This contact us page has information, where you save your information. And any information you put here is saved in our database. Every email you put here is saved in the database. And this WordPress will alert me and send me a message that somebody so person have sent me a name. So this page in a microservices, this page can be something, can be an application. There could be a robot here, even telling you what to do and what not to do. You understand me? You can see my map, Google Map is here. The phone number is here. I think you can even see this phone number is even a old phone number. I don't use this phone number again. I want to update this. But the website is the same. The email is still there. Everything is still there. And this is a valid address. These are valid because Google came to validate it before they could give me some things for my SSO. So that is anything I put here. But because it's a monolithic system, everything we save in this site goes to one particular database. But if it's a microservices, everything that you put here will have different aspects. I think I linked one of the sites to, one of the page. I linked it to another site. Is it this page? Let me see. I linked one of the page to another site. Like that. This is very old. This design is very old. So this design is very old.
We're not seeing your screen.
Oh, Jesus, again. Sorry about that. So what I'm trying to say is that regularly, all services here, all system here, I can decide to put create welcome, create an admin, and where you come here and you start having different sites. So all these ones, I can even this contact me page, this is our blog. I can start to make it a single page. Then I can start to have another services that will be taking this contact us. You can see this contact us. You can put data here. Understand? I can decide to create another admin service where you say welcome, create an account. You understand me? You create an account, or create an authentication service. You create an account and start doing that. I think you can also use your WordPress to do it. So, but all of them, what I'm trying to explain here is that all of them, all the services are connected to one database. Or you can decide to make each services to have its own database. That will make it the microservices, which is the essence of our class today. So we also talked about yesterday. Yesterday we mentioned the Docker, talked about the Docker PHP. So we talked about the Aurora. I also talked about how we can separate the database. You know, the database we had that last time was inside one VM. So what we did is that we have a LAMP application. This LAMP application, this LAMP is not your application. It's just a framework that will enable you to run a PHP application. So you need LAMP to run a PHP application. Where's this LAMP? Linux, Apache, MariaDB, and PHP running so that you cannot run your application. This WordPress was just a code that was designed by WordPress company and is in PHP. which we put in our Apache so that we can listen to it. And that was what we did yesterday. So we now went further to explain about the services about Docker application, how we can, the developers, that WordPress we did was designed by a developer, you understand me? But they did it so that you can have a database. Then we have to convert a Docker file. You have a Docker, you convert it to a Docker file. And after that Docker file, you now expose it to a container. And that container, you now put that container inside a Docker registry, which you save as a Docker registry, or you can deliver it into a VM directly. This was what we did yesterday. Let me rephrase. We started by building a Git and a GitHub repository. So this GitHub repository is any application that is running. You understand me? That is designed with different application language. But for you to run as a Docker, you have to convert that application to a Docker file. Then if you convert that application to a Docker file, you have to make an image out of it. You have that Docker file becomes a Docker image running in your server. Then for that Docker image, it does not run on its own, just like a normal code. It's still a code, but just that it's a Docker image. But you have to run it as an application, as a live application, which is you run it as a container. Then in that container that is a live application, you can decide to transfer that live application into a VM or a Docker Kubernetes engine. Let me come back and do what we're talking about yesterday. So I'm going to take a risk. The risk is this. I have an application already running, but I don't want to use that application as a sample. Let's just look for any random application. Let's say a Docker website. When I'm doing this, I want all of us to try it on our own. We want to look for a sample Docker website. This is a sample Docker website. I think this one will work because this one is by Docker application itself. Okay. Okay. And they already sent us the site. This is the site. It's already in a Docker format. It's already a Docker format. First of all, you have to sign into a Docker site, a Docker stuff. Back to, you say, call back unauthorized clients back to home. So you're supposed to log in, sign in. Where's my username? My username already. So everybody must have, or every company must have this Docker sign up, Docker application. You must have it at gmail.com. After this class, I want everybody to go and open a Docker account. Okay, this is my Docker account. Everybody go and open this Docker account. Everybody go and open this Docker account. That website that we picked now, this I have here is already built image. Going to be building as a code, but this is not what we want us to do. But let's just take this as. Are you getting what I'm saying? Are you following?
Yes, Patrick.
Are you following?
Yes, Patrick.
Okay, let me come back again. Just like we have this repository to save code, same we have Docker repository to save Docker file. What's a Docker file? A Docker file is a Git repo code base that are
Patrick, the line is breaking. I don't know if just the only one. Hello,
that code into. Can you hear
Patrick. Sorry, the line is breaking here. I can hear you now.
Yeah, you're breaking here too, Patrick. You're breaking.
Okay, let me do something. I think it's the network. Hold on, please. Oh, come. Is this still breaking now?
It's better now.
Is it better?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
better.
it's okay. It's improved.
Okay. Let me show you something. I'm not going to record it. I'm not going to sign it. I will do this code. But let me show you something. Let me just stop pause record. Okay, welcome again. Shoot. So we're going to take an example of a Node.js application, and we're going to Dockerize it. It's a live practical class. Please, after this class, let everybody just go and be playing with Dockerization. It's not that hard. It's not hard at all. You know why? You are not the one that did the Docker. Docker have already given you all the support. So this is the sample we are going to look at for. So what it told us is this. It said the first thing, this is sample web application built with Docker. We said we should create a file. First, create a new directory where all the files will live. So let's create a new directory. Everybody create a new directory. Okay, I'm going to ask you to create a directory. Say make directory Abi. Let's call it Node app Abi. Let's go inside that directory. Say code node. And the second thing he said we should do, he said we should create a file called package.json. We should copy this file inside. Let's go to package.json. Make touch package.json. ls. Okay, it's inside. Now, what the third thing is that we should copy everything here and put inside that package.json. I said, create a new directory. In that directory, create a package.json file that describe your application and its dependency. So this is our application, Docker web app. This is the dependency, meaning things it needs for it to work. So we already create the stuff. Are you getting me? Already create this dependency and this file. Say with your new package.json file, run npm. If you are using npm version 5 or later, this will generate a package log, you understand me, file, which will be copied to your Docker image. So let's go there. Let's go to here, which is vim, then package.json. Let me then Ctrl+I, Ctrl+Shift+V, then save. So cat package.json is already here. Now, the next thing you say we should do is say we should run npm, Abi. You say, with your new package.json file, run npm install with .sign. He said, if you are using npm version 5 or later, this will generate a package/lock.json file, which will be copied into your Docker image. Okay, let's do it. Copy here. Control C. Go to the environment and paste it. So install npm. Please do it. Are you doing it? Huh?
Yes, I'm doing
Hello?
it.
Prince, are you doing it?
I can't do it right now. I'll do it.
Sheriff,
Yes,
Kemi, are you doing it?
No, I'm not. I will catch up.
Why?
I will do it because
Do it now. Do it now, please.
I think I'm just lost with the explanation of this.
Where did you lost exactly?
It's very far. I'll do it. I'll try and do it now. I'll try and do it. Have you checked the link?
Yeah, I've shared the link. Just do it. That's one of the reasons why I think we should do it together. At least with that, everybody will be carried along. Let's do it. Well, you see, the one I did before, I did it myself, Abby. But this one, I've not run this application before. Let's run it together. It will be fun, Abby. Let's just run it together. So I've not done it before. You have not done it before. Now, where are you going to? This is Node.js, meaning the company that produced this application, Node.js, is an open source. Are you getting me? So they are teaching us how to build the application. If we're able to do this successfully, it will also give us that confidence. So whenever you see a Node.js application, you can just come here and learn how to do it. Is that okay? So your new JSON.js file, we should run npm. So for us to run this npm, we need to install npm. So if we install npm, we'll say run npm. This file is supposed to automatically generate. So let's do it. Let's do it together. It's still installing. Please, let's do it together. You will have fun if you're able to do it, just like the way you did that WordPress and it worked well for you. So you still just like, yay, you know. So I think let's do it. Let's do it. I say we. Are you doing it?
You know I can't do it now. No, I'm not. I'm on my
Please look for a way to do it. Please look for a way to do it. Prince Way, are you doing it? Prince Way.
I can hear you. Just watching for now. I can go back and forth on my system for now. Let me just watch.
Oh, but if you can do it, it will be better. Please, if you can do it. If we can do it together, it will be better. Or should I send it to us as an assignment? Huh?
Patrick, I have a question, please. So, assuming we are doing another application, do we also do npm install? Okay, yes, we do, because it's a Node.js installation package, right? So we have to do the same thing each time we're running
Yes.
a different application. Okay, got it.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, every application has their own way of building their Docker file. So that's why I always recommend you go to the application documentation and read through. Then why do you need to meet the developers? The developers, sometimes they need to tell you the name that they use. Or sometimes you can just go to that package.json file. All application has their package.json file. You just go to that package.json file and see the name that they give the application. You see the one we did now. This package.json file, the one we did, the name was already there. You know, say the name of the file is Docker web app. So meaning if it's going to work, you say there's a main file called server.js. Are you getting me? So what is going to happen is that there's a server.js, there's a name of this application, which is docker.js file. So, and the author name is first and last name. So the first and last name and the email name, which we did not put. The version we're going to call this application is 1.00. So you can decide to put your own name here, your first name, your last name, and your email address. So anybody running this application will see that you are the one that runs, you are the one that designed this application, but we know we are not the one. So that was why we're just using it. So the dependency, meaning things it requires for this system to work. This is it. So now it has, I think it has finished installing. You can see just for, that's why as a developer, your system must be fast. Because you see at the things is downloading 99%. Look at the application that is, look at the thing that is already loading inside your system. Now it has finished installing that, running npm. So now let's run npm install. Say GUMI of this npm install a package npm uninstall. So it's npm install. So immediately say npm install, because there's a file there, it is going to create that lock. You understand me? Some packages are looking for funding. npm fund for details. No vulnerability. So if I now say ls, you see there's going to be a new file. You can see. How many files do we see here? Huh? Hello?
Sorry? Huh?
But how many did we create?
We created one.
Huh?
We created one. Patrick, where did you get those files from? Because I can't see anything.
Which one?
I mean, I did a list and I could only find one file that I created.
Did you run npm install?
Yes, I did, and it ran.
npm install. It ran.
Yeah, it ran, yeah.
Did you copy this file inside that? Are you sure? Check inside that package.json. Copy, check it if there's file inside.
I copied that thing on the browser inside that package.json. And then I ran.
Okay.
Okay, don't let me slow the class down. Let me just try to see what I did.
No. If you run it successfully, according to the instruction we have there, say we are supposed to have this package.json file. We're supposed to have npm file, Abi? So
Yes.
if you are not getting that response, that means something happened in between. Have you installed npm?
Yes, I have.
Did you install npm?
Yes, I did.
Okay, share your screen, please.
Okay.
This is the most interesting part of DevOps training. This from here onward is going to be very interesting. But for you to really enjoy it, practice it, go to the internet, look for Docker, just be building. You understand? Just be doing it because the company you are going to be working for, they may have different stack. And as far immediately they pick you as a DevOps engineer, they only just give you 1 month or 2 weeks to just settle. Hence, they're not going to be asking you, do you understand? They expect you to know. So you're supposed to know what they are doing. So practicing gives you more stuff. So what he said is that we should create this file. Now we've created this file. Abi? Now, it say in that file, with your package, you say we should run npm install. Kemi, are you doing it? Hello, Kemi.
Yes, I'm trying to. I'm trying to just create this file, the package of JSON file.
Okay,
Should
create
I-
package or JSON file. Okay, continue. Who is asking question? Lollipop.
Yeah, sorry, I wanted to say, should I maybe sign out? Because I don't know why it's not giving me those other files.
Let me see, share your screen. Let me stop sharing my screen.
I'm sharing my screen.
Okay. What you have here is delete that package of JSON file that you had before.
Okay.
Create a fresh one. And copy that file inside. Paste it.
Okay.
Save. Run npm. Do you have npm already installed in your system?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I should just do npm install, right?
Yes. Did you follow this process last time?
No, I didn't.
LS.
I used this sudo. Okay.
LS.
Thank you. Got it.
What do you
Yes,
see
it's
there?
showing now. Can you see the 2 more extra files? Okay, so
Yeah.
I thought you used
Yeah.
this sudo apt. So is there a difference between this one that you use? Because I saw you using this one. Sudo apt install
I installed
npm.
it. I installed it, and after installing, you now run npm install npm install. Okay, you've done
Okay,
that
so that's just
successfully. Now
I didn't run it. Okay, got it. Okay,
let's
let me stop sharing
continue.
my screen. Continue sharing your space. Yeah.
Kemily, can you share
Thank
your
you.
screen too? Let me see your screen. Kemily,
I'm about to share.
let's see the files you have there. You've not created it before.
I tried it too. I can't find it.
Okay, I agree. Please learn how to use your tab, or else you can create 2 files at the same time, or you make a mistake. Create that file. Oh, Prince, please, you are next, so let me see what you are doing. You can decide to do it directly instead of writing touch. Just say no. Go back. You write Vim together at once. Just remove that touch. Just put Vim. Then copy those things and inside. Save it. Okay. npm install, not npm. I don't think you have npm already. Have you installed npm already?
No.
You know, press enter. You don't have. So say sudo apt install npm. Okay. Prince, let's see your screen. Please stop share. Yes, press L. Yes, Y, press Y. Prince, let's see your screen.
Patrick, I have issue with my AC to restart for now. You can start with someone else. I'll come back to it.
Okay, I have issue with your system. Okay. I think these are the three people. Sheriff, do you have any system you're working with or you're playing with your phone?
Right now, no.
I know. So your system is with me. So your system will be ready this week for pickup. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to Kemi. Just share your screen, Kemi, please. Has it finished installing?
It's still installing.
Huh?
It's still
Okay.
installing.
So when you finish installing, just run npm install. Only npm install to generate these two files. So let me continue with what I'm doing. So stop sharing. Let's continue. Now that so what they said here is correct. Now they say we should create another file, server.js, and we should put this code inside. This code, express, runtime, the host, the port, and everything. Let's create this file. So you, instead of writing touch before going to put touch, let's just say vim server.js. Enter. Sorry, copy the file. Control C and paste it inside. Assuming that this is the code that the developers have written, and it's just hello world and the port and everything. So let's save it. Okay. Cat server is there. Okay, now let's go to the other thing we need to do now. Let's see the next step. It said the next step is to create a Docker file. So what it's saying is that the application is run. If you look at package.js, you can see the first one is the Docker file. The other one is the other thing it talked about was the server.js. Have you? It says you should start server.js. So these are the only two applications that was mentioned here. And these are the only two applications that's also here. Now you say we should create a Docker file. In the Docker file, these are the process we have to do. Create a Docker file. We should put all these things. So the first thing we need to do is to define what image we need to build from. Does that mean here we'll be using LTS, which is long-term support, 16 of node available in Docker Hub. So this file, node 16, is already in Docker Hub. So you see, after that, next we'll create a directory and hold the application code inside the image. This will be the working directory of the application. So we have created it. Then he said the third thing is that this image comes with Node.js and npm already installed. So the next thing we need to do is to install an application dependency using npm binary. Please note that if you are using npm version 4 earlier package 4.js will not be generated. So we are using the latest npm. So these are the things that is going to work. Now, all these things he mentioned, he said, now note, rather than copying the entire work directory, we will only copy the package.js. This allows us to take advantage of the catch Docker layer, you understand me, as API CI. Further, the npm CI, that is continuous integration command, specified in the command helps to faster reliability and everything. So we're going to copy, is it to bundle your app source code inside the Docker image. Use copy instruction, copy this to copy it inside and expose it. Then after it, we should start the server for JS. So instead of doing everything one after the other, let's just copy everything here and put it inside a file called Docker file. So this is our Docker file, meaning at this time, our application is already running. This application is already running. Now let's do our Docker file. Now you'll say vim Docker file. Don't forget the Docker file, the D is in capital letter. Then paste everything inside. Control WQ. Cat Docker file. Sorry, cat. So it's inside. So let's clear our screen. So we've done that. Now the next thing is, what is it telling us to do now? He said we should create a docker.ignore file in the same directory as a Docker file, which follows this syntax. So we should write a docker. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you please, can you just open the Docker file again, please?
This is Docker file.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
So now you say we should create docker.ignore file inside that same repository. You understand me? This docker.ignore file, in case you want to push it to a Docker hub, it will ignore pushing this particular file, just like the way git.ignore is. So instead of going far, just write vim.docker.ignore. Have you?
Yeah.
Docker ignore file. So Docker ignore.
Ignore.
And just type it. Docker ignore. Then put what you inside. Just two files. Ignore. It says you should ignore this node.module that was generated by npm, and you should also ignore npm node. Then control Q, WQ, save. Okay, clear. Okay, now those two successfully done. So what are we going to do now? You say we should build your image. How do you build your image? Remember I mentioned this thing to you. Docker build -T, Control C. You can use this one. I already sent you one before, Abby. You can use the one I also did, which is the same thing. Docker build, the name of the file, and the full stop. That full stop means here. So always put, if you want to build it here. If you are building in a different location, put it there. So we have all our files corrected here. So we now say, can you hear me?
Yes, Patrick. Can you share your link, please? The one that you're using to build.
One I'm using to build. Which one? Okay, my own. Okay, I'll share it in this group.
Okay.
Kemine, hope you are doing it.
Yes.
How many of us are doing it now? How many of us are following? So, and let's call this, the name of this image, we'll call it Node.js, have you? So the file is already a Docker file. Docker build no cache -t, name it Node.js. Then the file name Docker file. I press enter, it's supposed to build successfully. Sorry, I'm supposed to use sudo. When I was creating my Docker file, my Docker this thing, I actually made it a sudo stops, which is not the best way. You're supposed to know. You're not supposed to run your Docker as something. It's okay. Okay, now those things that were listed in our Node.js file is going to follow everything and build this successfully. So immediately you finish building, what it's telling us is that you see running your image -d, run the container in a detached mode, leaving the container running in a background. -p flat that redirects a public port to a private port inside the container, runs the image. So you say Docker run -p port, open this port at port 8080, because this port 8080 was declared inside the Docker private Docker hub. You know what I mean? This is your public instance, either a VM or you are using our local system. Then -d means run this thing. I still want, as we are running it, I still want it to be running like a normal stuff. Then your username. Now, if you have a Docker, if you have a Docker account, put your Docker account here and / node web app. So let's use this one to run our application. So we'll always do this if it's still building. So it's going to build it successfully. Then after building successfully, I think what we are going to see is hello world. So you see the process that it follows. So the same way, this same process, this same file, if you understand this file very well, I can say congratulations, you can build any Node.js file, anyone. You understand me? You can, the same process, the same procedure, because everybody designing Node.js, they are still going to design it in this format. They're going to follow through this process. But some application runs with more than just Node.js. Some application runs with Node.js, Angular, maybe it's Node.js, PHP, but the same process. If you want to also build JavaScript, you go to Java site, you see the Java build site. You understand me? Because Docker is relatively new. I think it started just 2015, a bit 2013. It's very, very new. So everybody is still new to it. But 2015 is almost 6 years ago. You understand? But it's not really, I was not 100% accepted until recently. Until 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. So it's going to take time because we are building our local system. See, the first thing it's still doing is doing the number 1 of 7. which is pulling all the dependency in OJS into your system. So your own is also still doing the same thing, Abi. My dear, if you look at any video that have to talk about Docker, it's very, very easy to look at as if you have seen it as a movie compared to you really doing it. It's a two different ball game. So I would recommend, if you do not participate in this training, try and do it on your own. Dedicate time for it. So we only have one container running. Let's run another container and expose it to another port. So it's still building.
Mine is successful.
Yours is successful. Okay, mine is successful now. So and the name of the Docker, let me see, okay, Docker testing, that's the name we call it, Abby. Which name did we call the Docker stuff?
Docker test.
Okay, I name my own Node.js. See,
Node.js,
Node.js is
sorry.
up. I name my own Node.js. Then Docker testing Node.js. Node.js 30 seconds ago, so it's up. So what I will now do, clear, say Node.js is up. So what we will now do, let's run it. The same way we run that, I know I already have a way of running it, but let's follow their own.
Okay.
This is how to run it. Say Docker, the port minus Control C. Okay, let's run it. Control C. Then you see the name, my username. Let me use my username here. Let me call it cloud. So you take note. You are not using this one. You are using the name of this application. Control C. The name of this application and the version. Because the version is latest, Abby. Mind you, that is the last thing. Run Docker -P. Run Docker. I'm going to put sudo because I'm running my own Docker from sudo run the Docker -P, the port, the private port. When we are building our Docker file, we declared port 8080. You can see expose port 8080. So that's why we are saying expose this port 8080, which is a private port, to our public port, which is our system, our own local system. If it's the server, the same thing you're going to do. So that means bind it to this public port and -D, meaning when you are running it, detach it. I don't want you, even as you are running it, I want it to be running at the background. I want to still continue to work on my terminal. That's the meaning of this. If I say enter, sorry, I made a mistake. Ah, God, what did I do? Did I, let me see what's happened. I think I mistakenly touch. Okay, the mistake did not happen. You can see. So if I go to my own local machine now, and I put port what? Which port did I expose it to? Let me see.
8080.
If I put port 449, see this port here? Control C. If I put this port now, localhost. Control V. You can see hello world. You see, don't forget the port we exposed in the Docker, the private port was port 8080. So we are binding that port to, we can put any number here, this 49160, you can put any number here. When you are deploying it here, you can put it, for example, now let's see. Maybe I told you in a Docker file, you can put one Docker and be putting application on top, different application on top. So this is the images. We can try to run all these images on top and it will work. So let's call another one. Let's say this is port 8080 AB. Call another port, say port 9000. Then call this Node.js. What's the name of this application? Yes, this application does not have a name, but we can start to give it a name. And call it another name by coming here. Say -t. Call the name. Which name do you want to call it? Let's say test node njs. Space. So -t. The name is test njs. See, because see the first one we did not give it any name. The Docker by itself generates a name and call it adoring Hezibong. I love these things. If you didn't give any Docker any name, the Docker will just find a very sweet name and just give it. So some people don't just give it a name because they want to keep running. They just want to be changing names. You understand me? So the Docker will randomly just look for a name and give it. For me, I want us to give it a name. We'll call it a name, testing any bug, and we'll give it port 9000. I say unable to find image. Sorry. So we're going to look out for the application. What is the application? This is the application. Control Shift C. They're unable to. Oh, wait. Like there's something I'm missing here. Okay, I did not
I
put
think
this.
there's a G.
I didn't put this no catching. That is where the error is coming from. Okay. Docker run. Okay, sorry. I'm not supposed to put not supposed to be -t, it's supposed to be name. Meanwhile, I can decide to give it extra argument. Can decide to give it extra argument. Can decide to like -- argue. There are so many options there. So I'm saying name is sorry, it's supposed to be name. -- name. So I think sometimes you can put n, but I don't always like, I will not recommend you put -n. Just put -- name. So we give it a name. So, sorry, -t is for building. Now, you see it has created it. If you say Docker image, Docker container list, see the name is testing. Instead of generating a name, it is going to give it testing. But if you go to my port 90,000 localhost 9000, you see hello world. So that is just, you see, it's simple, Abi. Che? So let's analyze our Docker file again. To analyze your Docker, the reason why I always like to do this, it gives you more power to know what is going on. I've built many Node.js files before, many, but I want us to do this thing together, and we did it together and it worked. Abi? So is there anything hard here? Let's analyze our Docker file again. You can just say code dot to open your VSA code in this environment so that we can really look at the Docker file again. We're going to open it here. Okay, this is our Docker file. See, first of all, it said you should open to Node 16, version of Node 16, and install the dependency and create a file called user.sroc.application where all the files are going to be working. That's where you're going to use as a working file. Install all the dependency, copy this package.json into this place and run npm. So if we have, let's assume we have another application now. Let's go to another application. If you notice, copy package.package white card. You see white card here? You do see white card here?
Yeah.
This white card means both package.json or anything that have to do with package dot any extra that ends with .json, copy it. So it's not only package.json that is copying, it's copying everything that have to do with package.json. So in our file here, how many package.json we have? Just one. Sometimes you can have more than one package.json. Right, okay, let me see this one. Excuse me. Oh, come on. Sorry, my system is slow because of the Docker file is running. So it's not like it starts slow though, it's just dragging. Let's go to, I have another application. CD ls CD ls. What do we have here? CD medics. No, I think medics we have. Sorry. ls. So let's look at CD ls. Okay, in this file we have package.json. Abi, look at it very well. See this package.json is here. See? Huh? It's here now. Hmm?
Yeah.
So we can still do this, can still do the same thing for this. You know that this particular application is designed in a way. If you look at cat controls, let's look at what is inside this package.json. You can see. You can see. So meaning the application is going to use this same file to build all your application and build it very well. So do we have server dot? We don't have server dot stuff. We have another thing here. Package. So it's going to, you see this particular one, meaning npm run has been already done there. That's why you are seeing this log file and so many things. So I think I want to send you a simple one before we start doing something complex. Is that okay? We want to do another simple one. We can even decide to try this using that same JSON, that's a node file. You can say JSON, you can say node.js, style.js. You can see this style.js. It will be mentioned, all the application needed will be mentioned here. One, you see the script, say the main, the script is script.bash. You see, inside this script, you see inside this folder called script, there are these files called bash. If you open it, say cd script ls, you can see. See, they are here now. bump bash. So if you follow the same principle we use in building that particular Docker file, if you look at this Docker file here, this Docker file here, I don't think there's a Docker file here. We can decide to, we can say cat Docker file. Excuse me, let's be clear. Cat Docker ls cat. You can see, look at this Docker file that we have here. It's having different formats because this Docker file is already wrong. So this one will not work. So now let's remove this Docker file. Or let's remove this Docker file, rom Docker file. And let's create the Docker file on our own Docker file. Let's say vim. So this is how we build all files. You go to the Docker documentation of that application. Follow the process. Use that same process to build every application. It will always work. It has always been working. You understand? It has always been working and it will always work. And let's say vim Docker. Oh, we'll soon be rounding up. This class is a bit longer. Then copy. Let's copy the default. Then we'll not customize it based on the way they design the application. That's our default. This is our default, Abby. This is our default Docker file. Control C. Control Shift V. Okay, now this is our default Docker file. But it's not going to. Let's cut code dot, meaning open VSA code for here. Now let's analyze this Docker file with what we have in this file. Okay, first of all, it said open this directory, Node.js and everything. But it says you copy Docker package.json. So we have package.json, two of it. We have package log.json and package.json. So it's going to copy these two files inside the directory. Now, another thing it's saying is that inside that package.json, there's already everything it needs. It's already inside. It's already defined inside. Both index dot everything is inside. So I think we can. There's another file inside this place. Inside this place. Inside this tile. There's another file inside this tile. Inside this script. So we need to copy that file too. Come to, if you want to build a Docker file, two things you look out for. Package.json file, open it. Everything they state here is needed. So this batch, pop patch, this file, and this file, these three files are needed. So immediately you have that. So you're going to have these three applications running. So how do you, these three applications, you need it. So you come your Docker file, come here, say copy. No, okay. Let's not do this. For example, if we want to run it, with a Node.js, want to run it with another application called an Nginx. We are supposed to copy, but let's run it like this. Let's see what will happen. Let's just run it like this first. What I'm going to do in our next class, we're going to use Nginx and Node.js to build it. I want to use Nginx to expose it. But let's just run this. If you say docker sudo docker, sorry, docker build. You say, let's copy what we have been running before. Control C. Yeah. Control V. Let's call this one testing. Custom A2 testing. With this Docker file. Docker file is here. Enter. So the same thing. You see, if you notice, the time it took to do the first one is very fast. You notice, like the first time, because why? This dependency is already inside this system, so you will not need to copy it again. This number 2 is already inside. We don't need to copy it again. You understand me? So that is why it's going to take time. That's why whenever you do your first build, it always takes time. When you do your second build, it takes second time. You say successful. Abi? Did it succeed? Did it succeed? Huh? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Patrick, yes, it did.
So you can see it's so fast. Abi? It has built successfully. But despite it built successfully, let's see if that docker sudo docker image ls. You can see it's there. A2 testing. Abi? It's just finished building now. Let's see if it's going to work. If what is stated here and if it's the same thing. Because I know there are so many, because this is how we're supposed to build the application. We're supposed to use this process, but let you test it with this. Control C, come here. Don't forget that we use port 8080. So it's port 8080, then the private, let's say port 5000. Then the name, say medics test. Then the application name is Control Shift C. Version V together. So we're already giving it a port, giving it a name. Let's run this application. Okay, says it runs. Okay, let's see if it's really running. Sudo docker container ls. What do we give it? Port 5000. So you can see this particular application, despite it built successfully, but it's not running. Why is it not running? It's failed. It came up with an error. That's why it's not listed among the running application. If you go to LA, you see it's here, but it exited after 36 seconds. It exited. Why did it exit? This is where troubleshooting comes in, which I'm not going to start now. I'm going to take that. For you to troubleshoot, you now say docker sudo docker container. You can say inspect or logs. You say logs, put the docker in, tell you this is the problem. No eternal error, throws error, cannot find module server.js. You understand me? And there's no server.js. At the function module, Node.js, it's not working. So there's already an error. There's no module not found. Remember that module that we talked about, that server.module, it's not found. So maybe our Docker file, we mentioned server.module. So you did not find it. Not forget that we're using the module of. Don't worry, don't allow it to bother you. Now, next class, we're going to get it. You can see it said server.js. So this particular module is not part of the services that's supposed to run. So we are supposed to call our services that we need to run. Which services is that? Is switch. Come here, go to the application. Sorry, where's the, I think this is it. No, not this one. This one. This is the application that we're supposed to run, which is style under, it's not going to be under style, it's going to be so there's so many applications that you know. Imagine we didn't build this one. This one style.js a bit. This is the style.js. So this is the application we're supposed to run. So we're supposed to come here, put that style.js, sort of come to Docker, so and so on. So it's supposed to be style. Then we'll save it. But I know there are so many things we did not build here. Package.json, then copy package.json, and there's other JSON things here. We have settings native, package.log. So this is the only two that I copy. What about this one? You did not copy, so we can decide to add it here and say copy copy settings wildcard.json. So these two, remember we have settings, native settings. So these two will automatically be copied here. Just the way settings, these two will be copied there. You look into it again. There's no JSON file again. We only have HTML file. Okay, now this is another one. This is tsconfig.json. So we have another one, ts.config.json. So come here again and also copy that. Copy ts config.json. Then copy it here. So we have these three. And after that, run npm install. npm install, confirm if it's working well. So let's see what will happen. If we didn't get any error, we'll see the app. So this is the work that you will be doing every time. The work is to make sure that you build it. So let's run what we did before. That is one. Whatever result we get, we stop here, continue. But I'm going to send you a simple web application, simple one. So let's call This is run. Let's Docker run. Docker run. Docker. Docker build. Let's call this one JS2. We saved it, have we? Be sure we saved it. Save. Right. So we are just trying to do a little stronger than what we did before. So you can just by yourself go to the internet and start searching for any application. Just build it, just be practicing, just make a mistake. Successful, Abby. Now let's see what happened. We didn't have shit. It did not save because I can still see server.json here. It did not save. We didn't save this. Save. You must know how to read logs. You must know how to interpret simple language, Linux language. Okay. Let's run ticket. For this. 5. Please, you need to take time to do this thing. First time is not funny, it's very easy. But if you notice that by the time we get to Kubernetes is more easier than this. Kubernetes is very easy. But if you don't understand this, Kubernetes can be easy, but when it's not time for you to troubleshoot Kubernetes, it's still showing server.json here. What's going on now? Where are we? Okay. In a different environment, that is why. I know I'm supposed to see some errors. I'm supposed to have 1 or 2 errors. It's because the nomenclature of that application and the nomenclature of this application are different. So you're supposed to see the difference. You understand? You're supposed to come up with something. You understand that okay, there's supposed to be some differences because the application is different. Let's see what we have here. It worked. It worked. It worked. Successful. Okay, now let's say Docker sudo Docker image ls. Okay, now let's build, let's expose this application. This is the application we just built now. Okay. Let's expose it. Let's see if it's really built successfully. Let's give it 7,000 and maybe the name medics test. Let's expose it. Let's see what happens. What is going on? What is telling you? It's telling me something. Hold on. Node.js 5. Let's see. I'm unable to find what. It's conflicting. There's already a container name like that. First 7. Let's see. Okay, let's see the container. Did it create? There's an error. You can see the note. It created, but it's an error. Sometimes whenever I'm doing this work, it's very, sometimes I can spend the whole day just to build a Docker file. But immediately you build it, it's okay. Docker container logs. What do I have here? It's telling you, okay. Module package JSON uses MGS. You say show the warning you created. Import custom from Dix. You say syntax error cannot be used to import outside a module at an object compile function. This is import as a custom from .style native JS custom has an issue. So running a load module, type module in a package.json or use, is it warning to load an ES module, set type. Set type is equal to module in the package.json and use MGX extension. Sometimes you see this error it gives, this error here. This error that it gives here is something that I will now return to I will return it to the developers. I tell developers there's an error. You understand me? So, and the developers will correct this error. You say a module in the package or JSON use MGS extension. You say import as a custom from .style native JS custom. Say load ES module type. So that means there's a file called, this is just the regular troubleshooting. Say in our package.json file, there's a place where we mention it. This is a place we mention it. So we should use what? Non-internal main modules. So syntax error cannot be used in import statement outside the module. Say now, say node 1, say wanting to load an ES module, set type is equals to module in the, so Control C, Shift, from here. But I don't always recommend DevOps engineers to do this. Is there any type here? Name, version. I can come here, put Control V. Sorry. Okay, syntax error here. Fashion. Syntax error here. Fashion must be separated by node server, which is handled by npm as a dependency. Expected, comma. Okay, it's here. Sorry. Comma. See the power of VSA code. VSA code will correct if there's a syntax error. We analyze it. We tell you there's a syntax error here. Correct syntax error. Now the npm is telling us that there's an error here. We should correct the error. So we've corrected the error. Let's see if we run it, if it will still work. Please, this is the last one. After that, whatever thing that happens, we'll continue from there. When I've successfully built it, I will let you know the error and where I corrected it. But this is something I'm planning to do. So you should Docker run. Call it 55. So you see, you keep building the Docker file until you successfully expose the file to the public. So, but you see the time it takes, it's going to be very fast now because why? The cache memory is already inside. So it's not going to waste those time that it wasted. I'm going to send you this. This is a public application. I can send it to you. Just fork it into your own stuff. Just fork it into your Git repo and use it. So say it is built successfully now. And let's see. Clear. So it built does not mean that it's going to work. Yes, it's built 55. Let's see if it's going to work. Okay. 55, Abi. Latest. Let's give it ports 9, 4. Okay. Create. Let's see if it's okay. Did not work. Why? So please let me not bother you guys this night. I'm going to build it. So it's still exceeded. It worked for 24 seconds and it shut down. So why did it shut down? Come here again. Keep troubleshooting till you understand why. And I believe it's a simple thing though, just that logs. Now you're saying internal binding error dot trigger exception. You said in my file, internal binding ESM loader in line 54. In internal, node internal process is the 964. The trigger caught error has an issue. What's the issue? It cannot find module style in the custom imported from this place. Do you mean import data style native custom JS? So that's what I'm going to be doing until I'm able to find it. But if it's a developer know how to fix this thing, and they will tell me where to copy and where not to copy. That's why in the advantage of DevOps is that it gives you the opportunity. The challenge that we are facing now is that we are DevOps, we don't have a developer with us. Developers are supposed to work with you to build your Docker files most times. You understand me? Troubleshoot the error, you build that, both of you work together hand in hand. But there are sometimes some developer may not want to work with you, they will just want you to do it by yourself. When that time also happens, you have to do it by yourself. Don't think that because they are becoming an enemy, because there's a company that I work for, the developer they don't want to do anything to do with you with Dockerization. They just want you to go and Dockerize it yourself. So that one is another thing. But after the first Dockerization, keep using. Like that one we have already Dockerized, like this one, and all that stuff. So I'm going to look at the file closely. But the file we are trying to Dockerize, there's already a documentation for it. There's already a documentation for it, and they already explained. They already have their own way of building their Docker file. But I just wanted to give it a custom Dockerization. That's why we're having this issue. Look at the README. So they have already explained how to build their own Docker file. So it's me that is giving myself some strength, because the developers have actually done it. They have explained how you can build it. And if you go to this place, they have explained how we can build it, but I'm just wanting to do it in a different way and get it. So what I will do is according to their description and build it and successful. Sorry, this class took longer than expected, but I'm going to do more. I'm going to build it and get it more. Okay, I'm going to build this. I'll send it to you. I'll build it tonight or possibly tomorrow. But I want to give you guys a simple assignment. This one is too heavy for. That is a production like Docker image, but I'm going to build it. This is normal welcome, but I think this one is too easy for you too. So you can just go to the internet and just say, okay, how do you build? For example, you're working in a company, let's say their stack is Java, is Java. You just say Java Docker IMF, for example. Let's come here. The one I have to come with Docker, you see this one, build your Docker image, just click it. This is Java point. So practice this. Practice this. Then after practicing this, I'm going to give you a Docker application, a simple Docker application that has a Docker file inside. Just build it. Then after that, just keep building. Just keep building. I think we can stop here. Okay. Any question?